This documentary about overcoming life's darkest moments isn't on Netflix, and that's exactly why you need to watch it. Look, I've been through my share of tough times, and I'm tired of watching feel-good fluff that barely scratches the surface. My Silver Lining documentary on lrodvnetwork.com is different. It's raw, real, and completely transformative. This isn't some glossy production designed to make you feel better for 30 minutes. It digs deep into what it actually takes to turn your pain into purpose. The storytelling is so powerful that mainstream platforms wouldn't touch it. But that's their loss and your gain. You get exclusive access to stories that will genuinely shift your perspective on adversity. I watched it 3 times because each viewing revealed something new about resilience. The convenience of streaming it on lrodvnetwork.com means you can pause, rewind, and really absorb these life-changing insights. Don't settle for surface-level inspiration when you can access something that actually moves the needle. Head to lrodvnetwork.com right now and discover the documentary everyone's missing.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Thirsty Topics. I'm Lauren Sellerot.
And I'm Meryl Climo.
Hey, Meryl, how are you doing today?
I'm really good. I've got my coffee. I've got my water. How are you?
Well, you know, I'm repping the home team. We'll be talking about that soon.
I see that. I know. Yeah, we'll talk about that soon. I don't know whether to feel good or bad about it because I didn't look yet, but I saw the Bears was on our list, and I'm like, okay, I hope it's a good thing, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. We're going to start off with you, Meryl, because I like your topic here.
Yeah, I have bursting to talk about this. I've been thinking about it all day and all night, for the past couple of days. Okay, so the Glam Bot that they have at these red carpet events at the Oscars. I'm sure you've seen it before, where celebrities. And this is elective too. Celebrities choose to do this, even though now I feel like it's been a lot of things that their publicists probably tell them to do because the Glam Bot ends up getting a lot of buzz and talk about throughout the night. So pretty much people walk up, and this guy Cole Walliser, who now we all know he has really long, curly, beautiful hair, and we've come to love him as his own personality too. He tells celebrities to strike a pose, and then the Glam Bot captures it, and then we have one pose that sometimes is really good, sometimes is not that good, but it's become its own talking point. And I feel like in terms of red carpet events, it has really grown in popularity over the years. Now, usually, we get people that show up and just kind of strike a pose, and they have some rapport with him, and it's always fun to see how they interact, especially when the cameras are seemingly off. At this point, though, I would almost feel like publicists should tell their people, hey, just so you know, the public is seeing all of this interaction. So this all leads me to the big event, which is J-Lo at this 2026 Oscars, the Glam Bot. And I am obsessed. So everyone is saying that she is rude. A video went completely viral of her showing up, and she shows up. She doesn't she barely, I'll change it. She barely makes eye contact with Cole and doesn't really say thank you. Now, some videos show that she does say a little hey out of the corner of her mouth, but clearly there's not a ton of eye contact. There's not a normal human good to see you again. She shows up, she strikes a pose very seriously, and then as she's done, she walks off, and her trail of people walk off too. And Cole, of course, is very professional and very good about it. And the whole time I think what makes this video super awkward is he keeps in character talking to her, thanks, you know what you're going to do. And she is just in her own world with blinders on, doing the move. So this went viral. I think at the last time I looked, it was at over 20 million views. And people are just going off about it, saying she is so rude. There's been a lot of backlash over her attitude over the past couple of years. Now, I've been a J-Lo apologist. I feel when we first started recording, she had a bunch of backlash for her own weird movie that she put out. And in the past, I'm maybe she's insecure or nervous. And after seeing this video, I am just I don't care if you're nervous or in the groove. There's no reason why you just can't treat this person like a normal human. And even if she did say hey, or good to see you, it's just so weird. And you're not performing at the Super Bowl. This is a Glam Bot, so calm down. And I think this is rude. Of course, I don't think this means she deserves the death penalty or anything huge, but this just gets filed away in the category of like you're in your 50s by now, like learn how to act.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I have a little bit of a different take on it. Sometimes, and what I've seen over the years is that you have stars that become bigger than life. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you have the money, you have the fame, you have the fans. And I think sometimes, and not all celebrities do this, but some celebrities take it for granted. And the same fans that gave you all the wonderful gifts that you have right now are the same ones that you kind of snub your nose to, like, they're bothering you. And
Yeah, yeah,
we've seen over time how that can backfire. And they'll give you your wish and stop following you and stop listening to anything you have to say and stop watching your movies. It can cost you money. And I think it's really sad because, again, there are certain things that you give up to have this lifestyle, but you want this lifestyle, but you can't go, well, I want the lifestyle, but I don't want this part that comes with it too. That's kind of not how it works.
exactly. And it's like it costs nothing for her just to say hello to this person. And they've showed her glam bots over the past couple of years, and like she has been rude to him. I don't care what people say. Rude might not be the answer, but like lacking any sort of warmth or character. I feel like over the past couple of years, I've seen it. And like this is, I am someone that like I feel like I've defended J Lo like one too many times. Oh, and the best part is that when they released the footage from it, they left it unedited. So like her makeup is still kind of a mess, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, we love you, Cole, for doing this." And now Cole seems like a gentleman, and he's come out with a video saying, "Hey, like, just so you know, this event was really crazy, and like, I don't feel like she was rude to me." So whether that's her publicist telling him to do that and him kind of saying okay, or whether he just kind of wanted to shield her from public hate that she's getting, I thought that was extremely nice of him. But I do think it was so funny that they put out her glam bot unedited.
Yes, yes, it was. And, we would never know this, but maybe it's his quiet way of saying, calm down a little bit, okay?
Exactly, exactly. So, like, when you watched the video, what was your? Did you feel like she was being rude, or because you do see her eyes like look out for a second? She does say like "Hey" to him really fast.
I mean, obviously, I don't know what was going through her mind, but to me, it seemed like she didn't want to be there. And maybe I'm looking at it
Yeah,
wrong. It was like, it was almost like she felt like they were bothering. That's the vibe that I got. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It
exactly. Like
wasn't anything warm. It wasn't anything, like, hey, I'm grateful, I'm glad to be here, anything like that. It was literally like, kind of let's get this over and move on.
yeah, and that's what I just don't get. Like, you're not Sydney Sweeney, or like you're not like the new flavor of like right now. You're someone that like kind of is clawing her way constantly to like be relevant. So I just with that attitude, I just don't get it. But oh my gosh, I was like, I had a show and I was driving to the show and I was like watching everyone's take on it, and then I talked about it at the show. Like it's been one of those things that I just can't stop thinking about. And I even think that too. I'm sure we all have moments where we're at a party or even on a small scale, and like I know for me, like I'm weird at ending conversations. So I'm sure there's times I just turned to someone and like ended the conversation, and that would be classified as rude. But like this, when you know you're being seen, yeah, like J Lo by now should not be so awkward. If it's either rude or awkward, and it's kind of like no excuse for either at this point.
I agree. I agree. Well, and also this shirt I'm wearing today. The Bears played the Chicago Bears played the LA Rams. They played yesterday, and unfortunately, my Bears lost.
No, boo.
So if they had won the game yesterday, they would have been one win away from going to the Super Bowl.
Oh, that's so
So,
terrible.
but the thing I look at it, there's a few takes I have on it. First, um, they had a brand new coach for this season. Caleb Williams, as great as he is, people keep forgetting he's only in his second year. He's still really a rookie. You know, we have a brand new offensive line that they built in. There's a bunch of new players there. We had to deal with a lot of injuries, so we were running second and third strings. And also, we had a whole new coaching staff that was put in place. With all
Yeah.
that going, we still was able to get to the second round of the playoffs. I don't think there's anything to to hang our head down about. I think it was a fantastic.
Now, does this mean so? Like, I'm so bad at knowing. Does this mean they're really like done playing? Like, there's no more Bears for the season?
Yeah, the season's over with. Once you get
Oh,
to me, I think football is the hardest game to play in the playoffs. Reason being is that when you play in the playoffs for football, it's one and done. So it's not
yeah,
like basketball or baseball where you have to win so many out of XYZ games. Literally, it's one and done once you get to the football playoffs. So to me, it's kind of way harder. But
Ooh. So, who do
but
you think will
the
be in the Super Bowl?
you know what? I think we have a good shot going next year. I mean, I think if
Yeah,
we keep the nucleus of the team together, because I think we have a great nucleus. Obviously, there's going to be some decisions, unfortunately, that's going to have to be made. They're probably going to look really hard at the defense. The offense, um, I would say 98% of it, keep that together. I wouldn't mess with it. There's probably one or two areas where they may take a strong look at it. Um, but I think that overall, they got a solid nucleus as a team.
yeah.
One thing that surprises me the most, Merrill, and I know you're not a football fan, but the
I'm a Bears
Bears
fan.
and the Green Bay Packers have had this rivalry for years. And what amazes me is how much sugar, I want to say a different word, but I'm gonna keep it G-rated here. How much sugar they talk, and we
Yeah,
and we beat them and kicked them out of the playoffs. How can you lose and still talk trash? Or am I looking at something wrong?
exactly. I feel like it's just it's like cognitive dissonance. Like they're still not getting the point or whatever. So I'm sure now they were talking a whole bunch of trash when the Bears lost again, right? It's like pouring
Yes.
salt in the wound again. Yeah.
What's crazy about it is we beat them 2 out of 3 times this year. So
Oh
it's
my
like
god.
you didn't even have anything to stand on to talk all this trash. That's what's crazy about
Yeah. That's is the coach? I know you said he's like it's his second year. Did he come from a different team? Is this his first time like coaching?
he came from a different team, and this is his first time not only with the Chicago Bears as head coach for the first year, but also as a head coach.
Oh wow. Okay. And like who's like the like main player of it? This is so silly of me asking, but like who would be like the Travis Kelsey or the Patrick Mahomes of, of the
I would say
Bears?
the main people that everyone talks about, obviously, is Caleb Williams, our quarterback, and
Okay.
then DJ Moore would be the main ones. And then, of course, you have some key people on the defense. And then, of course, our two-headed monster, which is our two running backs. People talk about that as well, too. So
And they'll be around next year too. Like they're not going anywhere.
um, they should be around next year. I can't see them doing anything with them. That's like the
Okay.
house nucleus of the team right there.
Okay.
There's some great players around them. In fact, there's some players that came in to play because we had some of our first string get injured and did an incredible job. I mean, an absolute incredible job in those positions. So there's going to be some hard choices that has to be made, but I think that we're going to be a much better team from all this.
This documentary about overcoming life's darkest moments isn't on Netflix, and that's exactly why you need to watch it. Look, I've been through my share of tough times, and I'm tired of watching feel-good fluff that barely scratches the surface. My Silver Lining documentary on LRODTVNetwork.com is different. It's raw, real, and completely transformative. This isn't some glossy production designed to make you feel better for 30 minutes. It digs deep into what it actually takes to turn your pain into purpose. The storytelling is so powerful that mainstream platforms wouldn't touch it. But that's their loss in your gain. You get exclusive access to stories that will genuinely shift your perspective on adversity. I watched it 3 times because each viewing revealed something new about resilience. The convenience of streaming it on LRODTVNetwork.com means you can pause, rewind, and really absorb these life-changing insights. Don't settle for surface-level inspiration when you can access something that actually moves the needle. Head to LRODTVNetwork.com right now and discover the documentary everyone's missing.
I do too. In honor of you guys today, I'll do something. I'll see an LA Rams shirt somewhere in LA and I'll turn it to the back or something. I'll spray paint any building that you want me to with the Bears.
Yeah, and then of course there's the drama or the question about where we're going to be because we're going to build a new field, okay, a new stadium. They wanted to do it in Chicago, but that didn't work out. So they were looking at Arlington Heights. There were some issues with the taxes and how that kind of changed once they bought the property. So now they're possibly looking at Indiana.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on outside of the game.
Uh, that's like when they move, because like when I was living in San Diego, we had the Chargers, and that was
Mhm.
like one of the things of living in San Diego that people cared about, and like we go to games and everything. And then when they became the LA Chargers, it like was so weird because I feel like neither LA nor San Diego like were super excited about that
Yeah,
move.
yeah,
Yeah, weird.
yeah. So what a
Well, I'm
crazy
sorry.
time to be a fan.
You have such a good attitude for a sports fan. I feel like you're the ideal attitude someone should have, where you're there for them, but then you have a positive outlook during the sad times too.
Absolutely.
See, that's what sets you apart from Green Bay. I don't even know any of these things. I'll just talk shit about whoever. But I was also gonna get this is gonna get me in trouble too. But I feel like no one, maybe just not my friends, but like no one I know talks about the LA Rams. Like I never hear it. I never, maybe I miss it, but I feel like I never see people like
Really?
wearing their outfits or caring about. Yes, but that's also because I'm just surrounded by a bunch of like geeks in Burbank. But I feel like the LA Rams aren't part of like what I see on a daily basis. But that could just be me.
That's
So next year will be the time. Well, something else that was losing lately was the statement from the U.S. Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins. Lately, this is ridiculous. I'm sure you've seen this too. Where, as part of the Make America Healthy Again (MAHA) initiative, they were talking about a USDA analysis involving over 1,000 simulations, and they gave an example where we can all eat around $3 under the Trump admin new dietary push. And this would give an example of a piece of chicken, a piece of broccoli, a corn tortilla, and then one other item. And then she said basically, like, obviously this comment went mocked all of a sudden because people are saying, A, this doesn't reflect real grocery prices. Like, B, no one just eats a meal of a piece of chicken, a random corn tortilla, and like a piece of broccoli and something else. And I saw videos of people like laying them all on a plate, and then the something else was like an antidepressant. Like something else was someone's like Lexapro pill, and just everyone adding their take to what the something else is just like so funny. And obviously this is crazy because if you go to a grocery store now, no matter where you live, even the more simpler items like eggs, cottage cheese, sweet potatoes, whole grain bread, they're all way over $3 a serving, and people, we shouldn't have to be eating like we're in the Great Depression just to like have this happen. So I don't know. What do you think about this?
I'm glad you said what you said because as you were talking, I'm thinking, where the hell are they shopping at for this $3 stuff? Because
Yeah,
I mean, I'm the cook in the house, and I also go grocery shopping and stuff. And I'm sitting there, $3, and then once you said, you start describing the meal, any meat is not cheap. There is no cheap
right.
meat. And I'm sitting there
Yeah,
thinking, one, where the hell are you getting these numbers from? And number two, what kind of balanced meal is this that you're talking about? Sounds
like
crazy.
a tortilla. Yeah, a piece of broccoli, a piece of chicken, and even if you're like for us, Aldi is probably the most whatever low cost or like
Hmm.
low cost grocery store by me that I could think of, and you still have to like buy a bulk of the chicken, I guess, to get it down to like $3 price. And no one I know, especially with children or like I don't know, we just shouldn't be told we have to eat like with no flavor or really no excitement, or it's just like a weird thing in 2026 to tell people that meal with like DoorDash being popular and all the ads that we see for like other types of food. Um, but this is why I do love America and just people in general, is because like there's something else. People are just like so funny about that.
What's so crazy about it? The people that are coming up with these with these recommendations, number one, I don't know if most people realize this, a lot of them have nothing to do with any kind of medical data, any type of dietary functions or
Yeah.
whatever. Most of them got their jobs because they know people in politics, wink, wink. So
Yep. Exactly.
it's not like they have any real expertise on what they're saying. And here's the crazy thing. Do you think that the people saying this are eating like this? I don't think so.
No, no, they're going out to fancy restaurants. They're going out to for absolutely.
So yeah, I just think it's crazy, but hopefully people have enough common sense to think, okay, you know what, they're talking stupid. We're gonna just look past this.
Exactly. And I really do think that like make America healthy again. Like I like the idea of that, but there's so many other angles that we can tackle that from, whether that is making everything else more, cost effective, or just teaching people overall how to like make an actual tasty balanced meal that people will eat for real. I think a lot of people just don't really know how to like prepare some vegetables and something like that. So just having like very easy educational things, and maybe some type of like program that shows, if you do show somehow that you're eating like that, you do get some type of reward or incentive or whatever. But there's other ways to do it, but besides just like showing a piece of broccoli. It just gets like every day there's something that it's like, I can't even believe this.
Yeah, and it's bad to say this, but when you get advice, you really have to do your own homework. Just
Yeah.
because someone has a microphone don't mean they know what they're saying.
No, this is like nonsense. And I mean, I think this person has to realize the message that she's delivering is stupid, and she's also delivering it in a stupid way. So yeah.
That is so, so true. So do your homework, everyone. Don't just follow people for what they say.
Exactly, and honestly, this is a nonpartisan issue because I've made fun of like Democrats and liberals during the pandemic for saying also very stupid things. So I just want everyone to know it's it's on
Very
both
true.
sides.
That's an excellent point.
Yeah.
Um, well, unfortunately, we're going to switch over to a very serious topic here. Um, West Wing actor Timothy Busfield faces multiple child abuse allegations. This has actually been all over the news for the last week now. As of January 2026, actor and director Timothy Busfield, known for his roles in The West Wing and 30 something, is facing serious criminal charges and additional allegations regarding the abuse of minors. To kind of give you a brief overlook of this, um, Busfield surrendered to authorities in Albuquerque, New Mexico on January 13, 2026, and was charged with 2 counts of criminal sexual contact of a minor and 1 count of child abuse. The charges stem from allegations made from the parents of twin 11-year-old boys who worked as actors on the Fox series The Cleaning Lady, which Busfield directed and executive produced. The children allege that Busfield touched them inappropriately, including touching their private areas, over a period lasting from late 2022 to early 2024. One of the children was diagnosed with PTSD and anxiety following the alleged encounters. The court documents claim the children were instructed to call Busfield Uncle Tim,
Ew.
and that he would tickle them on the stomach and legs. This one kind of touches me in a special way because, I mean, it's no secret. I've actually said it on the air. I was sexually, physically, and emotionally abused as a child. So this touches me in a certain way, and I know that we've talked in the past before about a Netflix documentary that came out about children of Nickelodeon and things of that nature. And you kind of keep seeing this ugly head kind of rear itself. And
Yeah.
these allegations are that far away. And I guess a few things come to mind were, one, why are these adults alone with children without
Right.
either a parent or a guardian? I just don't understand why a parent would give that kind of control. I don't know. What do you think, Merle?
I mean, first of all, I've told you this before off our camera, but I think you're so brave for talking about that. I've listened to interviews with you sharing your own personal story. And I think just like these men, it's so important for people to share their story, like when they're ready, obviously, because it helps other people feel not alone, especially men. I feel like it helps people identify their own situation. Um, so I think it's good that they're speaking up, and I agree. It just seems like in entertainment now, it seems like if someone was like the main decision maker and around children too much, it's like all too common that we're hearing these creepy, terrible stories. And like not only the parents too, but I wonder outside the circle, like who else has a feeling that this was happening, whether it's producers or like the next line of defense. And sometimes I think sadly people just look the other way, or like they knew it was happening but they didn't feel powerful enough to speak up, or they were selfish about their own position in the world and in Hollywood. Um, so yeah, it's like really shocking and just totally tragic and weird. I think like you're right. If we're hearing someone like you're not someone's uncle, you're not supposed to tickle them. It's just like I hope now we can just kind of recognize that and be like, nope, not appropriate. Sorry.
And the other thing too, and talking as a son who's in entertainment now and going to dip his feet in there much more pretty soon, you have to have a voice for your child and you have to speak up.
Yeah.
And trust your gut. If something feels weird, something funny, don't ignore that. And
Right.
and the other thing too is if you don't feel comfortable with a person, regardless of what that contract says, walk the fuck away. That's your child.
Yeah.
That's going to
Yeah.
always be your child. And no amount of money is going to replace your child if they destroy that child mentally and emotionally because you want a few extra dollars.
Exactly. And I feel like no amount of fame is worth it. And nowadays there's so many other ways where like there's another TV show that for them to be on. There's another casting person for them to meet. Like I don't think one person anymore is like the gatekeeper of. I mean, I really do think it used to be like a Harvey Weinstein thing for real, where he really was like one of the main gatekeepers, and people were like, if you want to be famous, you just kind of have to like go this route. But nowadays, like, there's so many other types of ways to be well known if you want to. If you're really wanting fame or acting, that you just don't have to like be under the thumb of a person.
I agree. I agree. And the one thing too, in this day and age, one of the positive things about social media is that you can kind of gain your fame and fortune without having to go through the industry. A lot of
Exactly.
people are kind of skating around it. I mean, even though, my platform is, not even on the map compared to big Hollywood, Hollywood don't want to let me in. I'll create my own house and I'll open
Yeah.
my own house. And a lot of
Yep.
people are doing it now.
Absolutely. But yeah, I think this kind of stuff, as you said from the beginning, parents should be around kids, asking them and believing them if they say something for the first time. And I don't know. I mean, this person just needs to be like studied so that we can learn why this happened, so that we can, you know, just recognize it even quicker.
Oh yeah, and like for me, I keep a lawyer on retainer for my entertainment stuff at all times.
Yeah.
Because I believe in doing stuff right, making sure, obviously I got to make sure I'm covered, but I want to make sure I'm fair as well as far as what I do. And there's a lot of laws in place when you work with kids.
Yeah.
There's laws as far as like uh perfect example, if you're doing a movie and it's during school year or whatever, or if they're on a episodic show, they have to have so many hours of learning, and they can
Uh-huh.
only work so many hours, and there's a lot of laws that you have to pay attention to, which is why you know and maybe it's not fair, but a lot of producers really aren't fond of working with child actors, not because of this crazy stuff here, but because of all the laws and logistics that go with that.
Yeah.
So I really don't understand, especially when I hear this. This Uncle Tim is like, "That's dude, that's not your uncle. Don't call him that." That's my response as a
No.
parent, and
Yeah.
to me, that's
I,
almost like grooming. And if if it's because I believe everyone should have their day in court, everyone should be able to present their
right.
evidence.
Right.
If it's proven that this is true, he deserves everything that's coming his way.
Yep, absolutely. And I think too we like give a pass a lot because I think we're seeing like the fall of just believing that people in Hollywood have like the perfect life. And it's if anything, if you're like an actor on this, could you imagine just everyone like covets your life and they think you have it all, and then secretly even if you're just like an innocent person on the set, and you know this is happening. It's just like there's so many gross, dark secrets that it's like I don't know. It's just really weird. I think it's important for people that live in like not Hollywood or whatever to know that it's just kind of a weird, dark place, and to not idolize who we think that we used to idolize.
I agree. And I know this is a little bit off script a little bit, but a perfect example of this is Sean Combs. You know, um, aside from the horrible things that he's done and been proven to do, I think the bigger issue, and I think this justifies what we just talked about, how many people around him that enable him to do that?
Yeah, exactly. And like just the amount, just the like fear that people have because they're like, okay, if I do something, I'm gonna rock the boat, and then I'll be cast out of this, and then I'm like
Hmm.
no one again. But no one should ever make you feel like that. And also just to know, like you're not, no one is the one person where it's like. That's why I love also working with like people like you and a lot of women too and stuff. Just because I'm like, okay, no one can like make me feel intimidated because if they do, I'll just like go somewhere else. So yeah.
That's right.
Okay, well, speaking of the one part of Hollywood that is still standing is the Fresh Prince of Bel Air mansion, and of course, just like Hollywood, it's all smoke and mirrors in the way that it's not even in Bel Air. So it's actually in Brentwood, which is a very nice area too. But it's on sale now for a cool $30 million. And so, we all recognize the sitcom home, the white mansion, and very beautiful looking. Now, this is ridiculous that I should even feel this way, but like 30 million, clearly that's like an insane amount of money. But when I see like where I live in Burbank, not normal houses that are like family houses that are just kind of like should be like 200 or 300,000 are going for like 4 million. So when you say that this mansion in Brentwood is like 30 million, I know that's a lot, but it's for what you get. I've seen houses that are like I can't believe they're 4 or 5 million because they're not that cute or whatever. But anyway, um, the estate, which appeared in the iconic sitcom, is slated to hit the market at the end of the month for 30 million. It's located in Brentwood, one of LA's most affluent areas, and it has, let's see, 6 bedrooms, 7.5 bathrooms. It's 10,000 square feet, and it's anchored on a 38,000 square foot corner lot. So quite a bit of room, and I mean, it's a pretty cool get for people that like someone that is already going to buy a huge house and wants like a piece of history, I think.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
But
if the
30
real
million is great.
house, if the real house is what we see on TV, it's probably not a bad house to have because it does look pretty nice.
I know, like coming down the stairs. Like I bet, I wonder if like the interior was a set or not. Probably, but maybe just the outside was. But
That's true. That's true.
you know what? I remember this too. The article said it previously served as an Airbnb in 2020. Because I remember during the pandemic, like TikTokers were staying there and everything. It was available for 5 one-night stays, which allowed access to one wing of the mansion, which was a recreation of Smith's bedroom decked out in 90s paraphernalia.
I mean, it'd probably be cool to own. Would I pay $30 million for it? Probably not.
No, me either.
Even if I had the money, it wasn't an issue.
Me too. Me too. I'd rather also have, I mean, I'm sure that people are rich enough to have this, but I'd rather have like 5 really, 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 really nice homes around the world than like one, like Bel Air mansion type of place too. And also, I think it's also different because like you have one son, I don't have any kids, so like I don't really need like a mansion with like 8,000 rooms and everything.
And I can build my own dream home for a fraction of that, and I'd be really
Yeah,
a nice, beautiful home, even if it's 5 or 10,000 square feet. Again, for a fraction of that. So, yeah,
exactly.
I see
So you're not
someone
going to be
buying
buying
it.
it.
I see someone buying it that really wants the nostalgia.
Yeah, absolutely. And just kind of the flex of like saying that they have it and everything.
Exactly. And my thing is, if you buying it for that reason, okay, good for you. You have more money than most of us. Okay.
Exactly. You're a collector. I'm like, why doesn't Will Smith buy it? I mean, that would be ridiculous, but he can live in it. Jada can live across the world. Sounds pretty good to me.
Nice. My last topic here is actually a pretty interesting one. Um, Amazon is suing Saks Fifth Avenue over bankruptcy filing.
Ooh.
So, Amazon is in a legal battle with Saks Global, owner of Saks Fifth Avenue, and Neiman Marcus following Saks' recent Chapter 11 bankruptcy filing in January 2026, objecting to its financial plan because its $475 million investment is now considered worthless, and threatening further action to protect its interests against mismanagement claims and potential loss of recovery. Good luck with that.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of strict protection when you go into bankruptcy. Now, they're not going out of business. Chapter 11 means that they're restructuring all their debt.
Yeah. That's what I've
So,
learned how common it is just for people and businesses to just file. And it's almost like a financial strategy rather than, I think we were taught when we were little that like bankruptcy, almost like a monopoly game, means like, I have no more money. But if anything, you're right. It's like it's a financial kind of strategy.
oh, that's true. That's true. And what's so kind of crazy is that um, hopefully the courts throw this out because, when you invest in a business, it's an investment. There's no guarantees.
Yeah.
So if they miss management or they lose shares or whatever, that's a part of doing business. That's why you do your research first. And if you see the business is struggling and you want to invest in it, you're taking a risk. Do you
Right.
know how many companies would be suing left and right if this went through saying, hey, I
Yeah.
invested in this company, I lost money. You know what? We're going to sue them. Come on.
Yeah. That would be its own like Shark Tank TV show of just suing a company instead of like investing in it. Yeah, that's part of the reason that you invest is because you take a chance.
That's right. And the one thing is, and I'm glad you say Shark Tank because that's one of my favorite shows to watch. And it's
Yeah.
interesting how multiple sharks on the show would say that they invest in a bunch of businesses, knowing that, for example, if they invest in five businesses, they know that maybe one or more of those businesses are going to fail. So the other ones kind of make up for what they lose. And then they have one or two more that actually bring them more money. So it's a strategy. You're not going to win 100% all the time. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah. It's one of those brands. I mean, that's interesting too. With like Saks Fifth Avenue, because I feel like a lot of these brands are just going to have to rethink their whole structure in general. 'Cause, like as we know, like more of the retail business, no one really likes to shop in the stores anymore, and online people just use a lot of Amazon. And times are tough. We're trying to eat chicken with a piece of broccoli and a corn tortilla, so you know, it's a very interesting time. I feel like for probably stores like that.
I agree. And the thing is, let's face it, other than Christmas, most people don't really shop at brick and mortar stores anymore.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little bit of shopping done, unless you're one of the main anchors, like a Saks Fifth Avenue, like a Macy's, Walmart, big branded stores. You can still have a brick and mortar, but you probably should not have a massive one. It should be a much smaller footprint.
Well, I'm excited to see how this goes. Now I feel like I could sue anyone that I believed in and gave $5 to. Any of my friends that I bought a piece of coffee for that kind of let me down.
There you go. Like, hey, I loaned you that $5 years ago, man, with all the interest and stuff. You owe me money. I'm gonna sue you.
Exactly. I feel like I've donated some GoFundMe, some friends making movies, and I'm like, come on, like where is it?
That was a lot of fun.
That
Um,
was.
talk about fun. What do you have coming up, Meryl?
Yay! Well, I have a fun show February 7th at the Ice House in Pasadena, which is a really cool comedy venue that I just performed at. And it's part of a really fun show. It's so funny. The show is called like 50 and Funny. And I'm like, wait, I'm not over 50, but they said I can still perform.
Well, maybe they're attracting people over 50, right?
Exactly. I hope so. So yeah, I hope I'm not aging myself yet. But yep, that is February 7th at the Ice House in Pasadena.
Well, anyone, if you're in the area at the time, please make sure you go out and support Meryl.
Yes, please. Oh my gosh, my show at the Gentlemen's Club was so fun too. By the way, no, unfortunately none of our audience came, but it was ridiculous. It was very fun. I'll just tell people that.
Nice, nice. Any pictures you can share on the air, or probably not?
Oh, definitely. No, I think on my close friend's story, I shared one. That was it.
Alrighty, well, everyone, thank you again for supporting us. We really appreciate you watching us and listening to us, sharing with us. Also, too, all the comments that you guys give, I do look at those and I do respond back. So I appreciate that. We appreciate your support. I'm Lawrence Elrod.
And I'm Meryl Climo.
Take care, everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye.
This documentary about overcoming life's darkest moments isn't on Netflix, and that's exactly why you need to watch it. Look, I've been through my share of tough times, and I'm tired of watching feel-good fluff that barely scratches the surface. My Silver Lining documentary on elrodthenetwork.com is different. It's raw, real, and completely transformative. This isn't some glossy production designed to make you feel better for 30 minutes. It digs deep into what it actually takes to turn your pain into purpose. The storytelling is so powerful that mainstream platforms wouldn't touch it. But that's their loss and your gain. You get exclusive access to stories that will genuinely shift your perspective on adversity. I watched it 3 times because each viewing revealed something new about resilience. The convenience of streaming it on elrodthenetwork.com means you can pause, rewind, and really absorb these life-changing insights. Don't settle for surface-level inspiration when you can access something that actually moves the needle. Head to elrodthenetwork.com right now and discover the documentary everyone's missing.